So this is Shahadat, working with environment and water last 11 years in Bangladesh. I am a civil engineering graduate from Kuwait, Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology. Then later on, I completed my master's in water resource engineering from Kuwait, and also a postgraduate diploma in disaster management in Dhaka University. So here I worked with IWM, Institute of Water Modeling, from 2009 to 2017. Then I started my own platform, Onushandani Kids Limited. This is my company, and here we are working with 40 people. All are engineers and environmental water resource specialists, and we are working with various government and private organizations for various aspects of environmental water. So let's start my presentation. Here I am talking with about the status of drinking water in Dhaka now and for the planning of future. Later on, as I am working with the Dhaka water supply sector development project, so you know that the huge number of people are here in living in Dhaka City. So the demand of Dhaka City is growing higher than higher. So this is my team. We are working with Dhaka City, Dhaka Wasa. This is now going on in Jatabar area. My team is collecting the baseline information, how is going on the water supply, about the quantity and quality, and what will be the future aspect for collecting the baseline information for developing the water supply model. Then we can collect with the water supply sources. Like here is two types of sources, like groundwater and surface water. You know that all about that estimated that average 150 liters per head waters are needed, and in slums area it's only 85 liters, and in rich neighborhood it will cost about 500 liters per capita per day. So actually the water usage is directly proportional to income. The greater income, the greater uses of the water. The lesser income, already the lesser uses of water. This is Dhaka. So you saw that there is the boundary of Dhaka, which already Dhaka metropolitan district, almost 1,528 square kilometer. Now the Dhaka metropolitan area is only 306 square kilometer, but the DCC area already 145 kilometer. So Dhaka was only service for 392 kilometers. Actually, what is the profile of socioeconomic? You know that the expanding our populations. So from now, the Dhaka is growing, and for about 2035, the stationary and established population already established. So there is a graph beside the left side of the graphs. There is some study like that the age group of the populations according to the Dhaka city corporations, and also the economy, like per GDP is almost 2000 USD per capita. So that's why the uses of water related activities are growing. So the demand is growing day by day. Actually, the demand is depends on the population. This is the Dhaka city populations on in pre-British period. The 1610, it's only lesser than 1 lakh people. The British period, it's 55 lakhs peoples, and the Pakistan period, it's greater than 5 lakhs to populations per the East Pakistan side. But now this is already 12 million people are living. So that's why the growth rate of Bangladesh and the Dhaka is increasing day by day. And the urban population almost in 2016 is almost urban population as 30%. So that's why the growth rate is also increasing. The present population distribution of Dhaka city is just 1 lakh person per square kilometer in the area of Lalbagh, Kotale, and Sutrapur. This is the color variation you saw that. And in the other area, there is some population distribution are showing. So that's why this area is highly demand of water, and the scarcity of water also growing day by day. Actually, Dhaka have some zones for distribution the water. The area already provided, and for the projection of population for different years already collected. So for this information, we have said that for the year 2020, 2030, and 2035, the total 4% annum and the demand will increase drastically. So that's why we need to depend not only for the groundwater, it also depends for the surface water and the rainwater harvesting also collected in Dhaka City. So what about the projected residential disinfections? So there is the residential area. In future, the growing and the Dhaka city is expanding more eastern and northern part because the southern and eastern part already divided by the river. That's why the land is increasing southern and northern part, and already 16 new union is accumulated with the Dhaka City Corporation boundary. So that's why the area of the Dhaka City and the supply of the water always increasing. And for now, it's 2021. It's almost increasing the uh, daily water consumptions day by day. There is the demand of how much water we needed. It's already in 2070 the total consumptions was 2,520 million liter per day. But now the total demand in already increased by 3,000 more, and in 2025 3,500, in 2030 4,000, and 2035 4,800. So all these water and the demand are increasing. So how will be the sources? All sources will come out from groundwater? Not yet. So that's why we are just projections of these areas, and the projections areas are highly economic growth and flat traffic are increasing, and the moderate economic growth and the water 165 liter per capita per day is also increasing. So by 2035, it's already is near to about 7,000 million liter per day. So huge amount of water we needed to serve this Dhaka city. It's also that the huge amount of water is come out from the different types of consumptions. Here is the per capita daily consumptions between the Dhaka and the other city of nearest like Osaka, Seoul, Hong Kong, and other cities are collected from the source of Asian cities. Already the Asian Development Bank are some productions, but nowadays the liter per capita is we are designing for 150 liter per capita a day. So, and also how this water using, like that the personal washing, toilet flushing, washing urinals, washing clothes, drinking, cooking, cleaning houses, and others. So Dhaka is the color variations of the surrounding areas like Kolkata, Delhi, Mumbai, and Ahmedabad. You know that this area is also overpopulated people, so that's why they are also solving these problems in for like in Dhaka city. So that's why we are collecting these groundwater sources. In 1980, the number of pumps you are showing that this is lesser than 20, but now in 2070, the number of pump is almost 700. So the groundwater pump, all these areas are 700, and the groundwater table are decreasing day by day. Now in 2014, it's already decreasing about 70 meter. 70 meter is from 2000 to 2014. So up to 14 years, the groundwater is decreasing. So what will be the decreasing of the deep table? this for 1960 it's already 60 meter, but now in 2017 it's go down by 375. So it's looking that more than 1,000 feet. So more the groundwater table already decreased these areas. So more the collections of the water, it's already creating problem about the quality and quantity of this water, and also there is some distribution system which is vulnerable for earthquake in these areas. So we need to focus on the surface water. So how we can need to focus on the surface water? We need to have some solution for supply studies. We need to sectorizations by the service area was divided in various sector based on the main sources of supply and connected of primary mains, and also based on the present and future requirements of this area, and also criteria for sector boundary, like to design some DMS. Already designed some area of this Dhaka city, which started from 2010, but now 2021 it's already divided more than 1,000 DMS. DMA means district meter area. It's already a part of the design of water supply system. Which model like that you can collect your sources, one sources, and some boundary are distributed these areas by DMA boundaries. So all these things are happening in Dhaka city. That's why some losses are slow down. And in 2000, the losses of water already was 35%, but now the loss came down by less than 10%. So that's why the system is increasing, and also we are depending on the surface water. So look at this the plan for the future master plan for supply studies, that the water will come out from which part of the region. This is the Dhaka city. So there is some water supply master plan for Dhaka. There is some water treatment plant like in Shingar, Phuket, Rupganj, Bandor, Podda South, Sayadabad treatment plant, and Podda Northwest, which are already working with this treatment plant, which will collect the water from basically from Podda River, which is the southern part of the Dhaka city, and the eastern part of Dhaka city there is Meghna River. So these two rivers will serve these areas. For some sources are there, Finger Wellfield, 1, 2, Podda phase 1, 2, 3, Sayadabad, and Chorgandapur from Meghna. So all these areas are will be provided this number of million liter per day. So which will serve the areas of this huge number of water. But now in Dhaka city, the groundwater and surface water is 80-20. Like 80% water is come from groundwater and 20% water is come from surface water. But in future, according to the master plan, it will be changed by 50-50, like 50% water from groundwater sources and 50% water from surface water sources, which will be more needed for a sustainable water supply system according to the SDG. So this is the increasing number of production capacity, which will increase by different years, and it will be very useful for these purposes, like for collecting these surface water sources and accumulated with the groundwater sources, which will be distributed around the city. And the population will be 2035 almost 300 million. So that's why 3 crore people, huge number of people are demanding this water. So that's why it's very difficult task. But the Dhaka is planning to collect this data and this water from different sources of river around the Dhaka city, which is almost 32 kilometers nearby from the center of the Dhaka city. So that's the groundwater sources already amount of these areas. So these sources day by day are decreasing because that's why we need to increase the surface water collection. So this planning supply strategy all go down. So the supply and deficit all are showing in these sources. So total production already increased, and the water we need by 2035 will be accumulated among the people. So I think according to this water supply system for groundwater surface water, major challenges will be like it's a mega city and also it's a developing country, but the unplanned city development and growth. So there is some master plan, but and other area there is no road network or water supply master plan. But these pursuits and these problems are solving for DMA purposes, and also switching on the surface water from groundwater extraction and about the non-revenue water. It's also important because there is various industry around the Dhaka city, so which will be very important for that, and also some informal resettlement which will be low income community and also low an official tariff, large investment. It's the major challenges. But considering the challenges, what will be the solution? Solution that like all these identified solutions will be like for the reduction of non-revenue water. We all collected from the revenue water by providing the meters and increase the billing and collection system, reduction of operation and expenses, and regulation of the water distribution by 100% water for all, and also full implementation on billing system by SCADA and other things for using of the technology. So all about this, the scenario of the sources of water around Dhaka city, and also find out that some conclusions like the causes of water crisis on the city, like mega city Dhaka, and also rapid groundwater depletion, extreme surface water pollutions, and untreated surface water resources. So all these are happening here. And also, it is apparent that the present amount of water supply and its infrastructure arrangement are Dhaka city is more likely so much surface water sources solve the water crisis. And also Dhaka city is expected increasing by 617 square kilometer by 2035. So during this huge number of water will need it. According to that, almost 5,000 more than 5,000 million liter per day in 2035. So water consumption in Dhaka city is showing and rising trend, and population urban development are being expanded. So that's why we need to resolve these people by solutions that by using water consumptions and water uses, water reuses, all these things will come out. And also about the social issues for growing some considerations about the uses of water. And also in future proper estimation and evaluation of surface water sources for future demand collections, all these things will come out. And I think it will be very much effective from this side to collecting the surface water well distributed system and on collection system by meter. It will solve the problems of scarcity of water supply in Dhaka city. So all these things from my side, and I acknowledge thanks from Dhaka Vasa and Institute of Water Modeling. All this data and work done by us and our team, and also with the Dhaka Vasa, we are working with the solving of these water supply problems around Dhaka city, which is most water security in Dhaka city. In future, how can we solve these problems? So that's from my side, and thanks everyone for these presentations.
Thank you, Shahadat. Very interesting. A lot of numbers. Also, very nice that you elaborate on these. Are there any questions for Shahadat?
No, I don't see any question in the chat.
Okay, I have a question, and this is based on we did a survey on questions before. So someone asked a question, and this triggered us a bit. How much time does Dhaka have till you run out of groundwater? And what is how critical are we looking?
Actually, the all the groundwater sources like the deep table all are using almost 800 deep table are using around Dhaka city. So the deep table are now go down and down, and all these revelation tasks are going on. Almost 1,200 feet are going down. So there is some aquifer in Dhaka city. So I think there is no chance for no water from the aquifer, because there is a connection with the Meghna, Jamuna, and the Brahmaputra basin. So that's why water is coming. But the depletion, the problem is the groundwater table is going lower down. So that's why the collections of the groundwater sources is creating some problem in many areas of Dhaka city. but the surface water will come out by 2025 that will serve the sources of water. So then when the surface water will come out, there is the demand of on the groundwater will be decreased. That's why the chance of this increasing of the groundwater table will be happen after 2025. I think there is no chance of no water scarcity in Dhaka City.
Yeah. Okay. So it's clear that we well, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, we have a question
Uh,
from Mr. Erwin. Uh, I have put it in the chat. Mr. Shahadat, can you see it? So it is, how do you see the role of private water suppliers in Dhaka?
Okay, so actually, the role of private water suppliers in Dhaka City is not happening now because the supply of Dhaka City already jurisdiction by the Dhaka Wasa. So the Dhaka Wasa, all the applications of these groundwater sources and surface water sources, also collection the bills, all are happening by the Dhaka Wasa. So there is no way for giving the private water supplies in Dhaka City besides the Dhaka Wasa. So it's a government organization. That's why they are responsible for water supply in Dhaka City. But you can try for it outside Dhaka. There is another city corporation and Dhaka City. You can try for Gazipur City Corporation. There is no Dhaka Wasa. So there is chance for private water supply. The Gazipur City Corporation, what is nearby Dhaka City, and also use and demand are creating due to the industrialization of this area of Gazipur City Corporation.
Okay, let's take one last question and then we'll move to our next presenter. It's from Aaron Majors. He asked, will the river water quality improve fast enough to be a source?
Actually, the river water quality we are using now, Meghna and Podda, which is much better because there is not any industrial belt beside this river, and these mighty rivers all are flowing towards Bay of Bengal. That's why there is huge number of a huge amount of water. You know that per second of water is flowing from Podda River, which can be served by 1 month of Dhaka water supply totally. So that's a huge number of water from Podda River, and this Meghna River also can meet the water supply. But the problem is the Meghna water supply is water quality is decreasing on the dry period because some industrial pollutions are happening on the upstream of the Meghna River, and we are also working with the quality of this river water for the long-term water quality monitoring by collecting every week quality data and testing the lab. So we are thinking that the water quality of Meghna River are decreasing in the dry period, the month from November, December, January, February. But another 8 months there is rainy season in Dhaka and around the Dhaka city. That's why the river water is much better for collecting this water. But there is treatment plant around these areas. They are treating the water and supply the Dhaka city, which developed by Suez, already developed in Podda River, and the Meghna River are developing. It will serve by 2025 in Dhaka city. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
I
Shahadat.
have one question. May I ask verbally?
Uh, can we take one, Nishchal?
Yeah. Sure. Sure. Go ahead.
Uh, Thank you. I'm Mashik Iqbal. Shadul Bhai, I have one question regarding the quality. We know Dhaka Wasa have a treatment plant and they treat water before supplying. But from newspaper and TV news, I came to know that the users in the many area of Dhaka city, they question about the quality. My question is, what about this situation? Why people are questioning the quality?
Yeah, I got the question. We have noticed that problem, and we have seen that the area where this news come from, that the river water, the distribution water is connected with the drainage line. Because there is not already Dhaka Wasa is developing these areas by LTP pipe, no, but it's already covered by 60% of Dhaka city, but another 40% is now working on. So if the 100% will cover up, then the water quality will be increased because there is no connection with the drainage and the separate distribution line will be developed. So I think by next 2 years, the water quality will increase, and we are using the Podda and Meghna River water. So that's why we need not to collect the water from Shitalakha or Buriganga. So that's why the water quality will improve drastically in next 1 to 1.5 years. I think so.
Oh, so what I get that the main factor is about the supply. It's not about the treating water treating treatment.
Problem is that also the problem in the distribution system, because you know that there is some leakage between the distribution system pipelines. So
Yeah.
these pipelines already are working with for replacement by SDP pipe. When the work is will be finished, then the water quality will increase every area of the Dhaka city.
Okay, get it. Yeah, thanks.
Good.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you, Shahadat. I think there are a couple of more questions in the chat, so if you would be so kind to
Yeah,
answer them in the chat, and also if you're willing to share your presentation, please do with us. Then we can make sure that
yeah.
it ends up in the on the website.